All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video of the recent EZAs of LR Gohan and LR Cell. We're about to start their grand tour, and we've already been sealed. This is one thing I absolutely despise about Omega Shenron's Red Zone event is the locking and the sealing. So unfortunately, we won't be able to stack whatsoever this turn with my Gohan, which is really annoying because that's what we want to do right now. But with 177k defense, we do have guard here, so any basic is probably going to do absolutely nothing to Gohan. We do need to get Gamma 2 on the following rotation. Yeah, 1,900 damage. I mean, yeah, considering he hasn't stacked whatsoever and his passive has literally only just started like triggering. Like, we've only got key +2 and attack and defense plus 20%. We still need to get the full 80%. We've literally only just started building up his passive. That's pretty good. And again, no stacks whatsoever. Especially because he has the 50% chance of launching an additional super when your HP is 58% or above. That's decent damage to be tanking turn 1. That's very decent damage to be tanking turn 1. And of course, because of the category we're running, and we now have good, like very good Android category units that can actually be run with the likes of Gohan because of the movie heroes category that is joined into the Gods or Year 7 Gods category leads, we can also trigger his active skill and get SSJ2 GOHAN out if we really want to. Which, I'll be completely honest, Omega is kind of one of the easier red zone bosses nowadays. He can still catch you while you're trying to build units up, or certain units you don't want to be super attacked. Let's not disrespect him. But you probably don't need to bring Super Saiyan 2 GOHAN out against Omega, I'm not going to lie. Really? You've sealed and locked the gods? Like, was that really necessary? Like, just was it, like, really necessary? Of course, we're rotating Birdcool off because we do want him on rotation with Gohan. That rotation is just ridiculous how they both stack defense and both have guard. Like, it's just a brick wall. This is fine. You're going to help Gamma 1 build up, which is exactly what we want. And at least the gods aren't being supered. And I guess at least they have guard. So at least they've got some protection this turn. But as I was saying, I don't think we even need to use Gohan's active. We don't even need him to transform against Omega. I said there's no disrespect on Omega, but we don't really need it. Kind of like in EZA transforming Cooler's case, you can leave him untransformed the entire time because he's going to be stacking the entire time, and more so with Gohan because he's going to be guarding. Yes, you're going to miss out on a hell of a lot of damage, like 20+ mil worth, which is huge because that will just whitewash any red zone boss. Like, that will just ruin their health bar. But considering he'll stack the entire time and has... Are you serious? Have you sealed and then locked Gogeta as well? Yep. Scumbag. Literal scumbag. I'm going to pop a Whis to be safe. I know Gogeta usually pulls through and, like, actually dodges, but just to be safe. Of course, Gohan has... His defense is barely budged. That's literally for 2 turns of building up his passive, almost 200k. We're going to 18 key with him just because why not do some extra damage? And of course, we're going to get the 18 key and additional with the gods. But yeah, just in general, you won't need... Oh, he wasn't sealed. He was just locked. I thought he was sealed as well. Never mind. But you actually wouldn't need to use his active. You wouldn't need to transform Gohan. Like, it's just not necessary. Yes, you miss out on a lot of damage, but he does good damage as it is, especially in the second phase where he's going to have type advantage. And again, especially once his passive's fully brought up, like he's already on 7 mil. We're only 2 turns deep. But he's just going to get stronger and stronger defensively because he's going to be stacking the entire time. And he's going to have guard, so he's basically untouchable throughout this entire event. Off of like 2-3 stacks, Gohan's good. Like, he may take 100k on the super, but in the grand scheme of things, that's really good, considering that'd only be 2 or 3 stacks. But he's pretty much untouchable. You just miss out on a bag full of damage, which I know that's a lot to miss out on. Like, I'm not saying it's not, but you wouldn't even need him to transform. You actually wouldn't really need him to transform in any red zone event. But of course, if you can, you're going to, right? Like, it's just as simple as that, especially now because we can actually trigger it. And put Gamma 1 back in slot 1. There's a Whis active. He's going to be tanking literally perfectly chef's kiss. Of course, we're not facing an Android category enemy, of course, GT boss. So we don't have that 50% chance to crit. Unfortunately, you're going to miss out on that on the majority of harder content on the game. Unless, of course, you go specifically into the Red Ribbon Army Red Zone event, where every single enemy is an android. Of course, Gohan is going to thrive there, and I will take him in against Cell Max. And actually, do you know what? Solmax's actual event, like the crazily, insanely difficult one, Gohan will probably be pretty good there. You know, you're going to have a crit the entire time. It does mean you'll be doing more damage along the way as well, which does kind of hinder his stacking. But you have the additional, the built-in crit, the potential of additional from the dupe system, stacking on both 18 and 12 key, God. And then transform him as soon as you get to Solmax's final phase, and then bang, he's doing 20 plus mil attack stats. Yeah, Gohan will be pretty good against Solmax's actual difficult event. But in terms of any red zone event, as I said, you probably don't need to transform him whatsoever, because you just keep him guarding, keep him stacking the entire time. And as I said, he's pretty much untouchable. It's just that huge amount of damage you miss out on, which you don't really want to lose out on, let's be honest. He's up to 325k defense already with Type of Advantage and Guard. We can transform him already, but we haven't finished building up his passive, so I'm not going to do that yet. And I'm also going to trigger Bird Q's Revive, just so that's there. That's something we always do in our red zone runs. If Bird Q's here, we trigger his Revive, we get the guaranteed Guard. We might as well. Almost 300k in a basic, that's wild, but still. Even though we're stacking, we should probably die after this attack, right? He's not guarding, so we should be dead. Yeah, there we go. So we trigger the Revive. Gohan's also got the extra part of his passive. I'm kind of glad we don't need to attack to trigger it, otherwise this would have been a waste of time. But how many times have we built up his passive? I think we're on turn 5, and Gohan appeared turn 1, was it? Yeah, I think it was turn 1. I actually can't remember when Gohan appeared. That's a little bit annoying. I think I remember once I see his stats before we super with him, but I think this may be his final turn, or the next turn he's going to finish building up his passive, which I want to do before we transform him. Or potentially transform him, you never know. The gods, of course, we're going to transform the gods. I've still got the animations on, but we're going to leave them, especially because if we do transform Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, it's been years, man. It's been almost 4 years. You can't blame me for leaving the animations on, so I can actually see him finally transform into Super Saiyan 2 consistently. Because as everyone makes the typical meme, the typical joke, is this a new unit? I've never seen this before. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the animations on for a little bit while we use Gohan, just because it's animations we haven't seen in almost 4 years. But we're on turn 6. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, Gohan appeared on turn 1. So what? Turn 3. No, turn 1, turn 3, turn 5. Next turn he's going to finish building up, which means we can transform him the next time he appears. So literally next turn we can finally transform Gohan. Which, to be fair, partway through Omega's second phase, that's decent timing. Like, if you're on track to have your HP at 58% or less by the 5th turn as well, those are not bad. Now that we can actually trigger it, we can actually trigger his active skill, we can finally actually get Gohan to transform. They're not bad conditions. They're actually not bad conditions. Especially now that we have very good usable Android categories, category units, or units that can actually go on the categories with Gohan, such as the Gammas or Movie Heroes, especially how good they are. And this is going to be especially useful when we go against Cooler Core. Like, you won't get Super Saiyan 2 Gohan out as soon as you get into Cooler Core. Oh, the Nullify. Sometimes I forget he has that, you know. But, you know, you won't have him transformed as soon as you get into Cooler Core, but one extra turn of Gohan stacking up his defense, potentially, what, twice? And then guarding? I don't mind that at all. As I said, it's kind of low risk, high reward for him. An extra turn of stacking defense, building up his passive, doing a little bit of extra damage, but more importantly, stacking up his defense with the guard and building up his passive before you finally get to the transformation off, and then just do the 20+ million damage that Gohan can do. I cannot wait to use him in some of the other ones, in some of the other red zone stages. Yeah, we got slightly too much HP after triggering the revive, which is a bit annoying. But 346k defense with guard. Look at all the attacks in slot 1. Gohan's gonna be tanking those all for nothing. You can also get an extra stack off in the gods. Ready? Double digits. Oh, triple digits. Okay, we're on triple digits. It's still basically nothing. There you go, 12 damage, double digits. How much is it gonna do? I reckon just over 100k. Yeah, 167k, which 300k defense in red zone really isn't a lot, even with type advantage. So just over 100k, still pretty decent tanking, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously that guard goes a long way, because without that guard, Gohan probably would have been dead there, or very close to being dead. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. We are, however, on track to transform him now because we have lost a bit of health. We do not need to pop a Whis. Yeah, we do not need to pop a Whis here whatsoever. Gamma 1's fine, Gamma 2, and then we've also got Gogeta Blue, who of course has that 70% chance to dodge. 50% attack and defense raise for 4 turns. Oh, it's so nice, man. It's so nice because, as I said during the showcase yesterday, especially this applies for both Gohan and Cell. Both their kits pre-transformation are really good, especially Gohan's again with the fact he stacks and has guard. They're really, really good pre-transformation. And obviously their transformations are ridiculously good. But I love how good their kits are pre-transformation. We can even go back as far back as say the same applies to Gogeta before he transforms into Blue. His Super Saiyan kit's pretty solid as well. Obviously Gogeta Blue miles better, but I love how recently with EZAs, even as far back to Worldwide with Transforming Cooler, I love how good and usable the kits are on EZA on transforming units, whether it's normal transformations, whether it's active skill transformations, either or. I love how good the kits are pre-transformations on EZAs now, and they're actually very viable in harder content before you get them to transform, because back in the day it got to a point where it's like, no, I need this unit to transform as quick as possible, otherwise we're gonna die. Like, I love how usable Gohan is pre-transformation, which, speaking of pre-transformation, we can now pop it. So where are we up to now? We're up to just shy of 400k defense, but considering Omega has his KO Super, we are gonna pop this because we need to start doing some big boy damage. Otherwise, oh no, Omega Shenron's gonna KO Super attack us. We don't want that. So do you know what? We're gonna KO Super you back. Gohan's attack stat. Gohan could do so much damage, right? That Gohan basically has a KO Super, or like a finish skill, which won't come until potentially on Global the Saiyan Day, but you know, Gohan has a finish skill before finish skills even become a thing. Let me pop their actives. Do you know what? Let me give everyone a share piece of the pie. But Gohan, the amount of damage my guy can do on an 18-key super once he's transformed is generally on the level of finish skills. Not really, but you know, it's insane amounts of damage, especially if he crits. So he's basically got a finish skill built in. Don't forget as well, our HP is at 58% or less, which does mean we do have a 50% chance of launching an additional super attack and that 50% chance of hitting a crit before we even consider dupes. Just in case, 'cause I don't want to die, because those are loads of attacks at the end against the Blues. 14 key spheres are being given to Gohan there. 14 key spheres he's just got. So Gohan's going to be doing a bag of damage right now. What's the attack stat? 24.7 mil. Oh my days. How much damage? Please crit. Please crit. How much damage are you going to do? Please crit. 8.5. We hit the additional though. 19.8. I really wish he'd crit on that 24 mil super. It's okay though, because even if he doesn't crit, he's still doing a bag of damage. 11. Already hit another additional. Has my guy just one-turned the Mega Shenron? My guy has just one-turned the Mega Shenron. He almost one-turned the Mega Shenron. He literally has a smidgen of health left. If one of those other two super attacks got a crit, we would have one-turned the Mega Shenron with Gohan alone. And this is what we're doing in 2023, man. Gohan's transformation that in almost 4 years we never seen, and now look at him. Absolutely cleaning house. Oh my days, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Let's not forget right there, he had almost 400k defense and he raised his attack and defense. No, sorry, we did raise his attack and defense, but more importantly, he raised his defense 3 times there by 50%. So his defense there would have been more than enough to tank Omega's basics there. Not the KO super attack, obviously. But 24 million Superman. Honestly, he is easily the best EZA on the game. I can't wait to take him in against like Broly and stuff where we can stack him longer and Cooler Core and just, we absolutely murk Cooler Core's health bar. But let me know what you're thinking of Gohan down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. And peace.